You did good, my man. You did good.
You did a good job, buddy. I think your friend's coming over to help. There's always those types that show up later after all the work's done. All right, Dodgy, thank you very much. Hey guys, how's it going? Hey, we're going to continue on this 1971 Triumph TR6 that I picked up. Had been sitting for a couple of decades, taken apart in the garage, and left in unknown conditions. We already got one video kind of knocked out on it, which was giving it, getting it, assessing it on the lift and all, and getting it running. A couple of things was I don't think we're getting much oil delivery to the top of the engine. The rockers seem a little bit, we probably ran it 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and it seemed like a little bit of oil was getting to the top, but a lot less than what we should have. And another problem is it has a bunch of mold growing on it, in it, around it, that was kind of affecting me. So I figured maybe we'll kind of jump on that first. I think even the tires were sitting underneath it. Although that looks like dirt, I do believe they're kind of moldy, and of course the interior has the same issue. So I figure we'll throw a spare tire on the back because it goes flat very quickly. And give you an idea. Then you flip the seats, it's all behind it. All around the top and all. We'll throw a tire on here. This one goes flat in about 5 minutes. We'll throw the spare on. We'll fill the others up with air. Let's go shove it outside. Put the valve cover back on it and all, and we'll hit it with the steam cleaner. Then after that, on the bench over there, there's a whole bunch of cleaners that we can attack the interior with. And then we'll get back into working on the mechanicals. I ordered a bunch of parts for it, but I kind of wanted to get this part of it cured because it was getting my nostrils, so to speak. All right, let me go throw a tire on it, fill some up, shove this thing outside, and we'll fire up the steam cleaner. Give her a bath. Well-deserved one. Let's see how well it holds now. Yeah, a little bit of drag, a little bit of fire. This is the easy direction. Out you going through the sun. That's out in the sun, cooking a little bit. I got the top down. So we're going to mix up the concoction with kind of what was you guys were saying online. So I went with distilled white vinegar. I'm going to try a little bit of soap in with that. So people were saying denatured alcohol or isopropyl alcohol. And Murphy's Oil soap kind of came up in there. And then I got some leather detailer after. So I think I'll mix some of that up with some water. So I'll do this with some water, spray them down, kind of scrub them a little bit. My next guess is I'll go over it with that cleaner, let it dry out, and then we'll hit it with the leather conditioner. Another friend was saying too, the leather conditioner, spray it on, put trash bags over the seats, and let it sit overnight so that it doesn't dry out, and it'll help just soak it back into the material. We'll see about that. All right, let me go get that set up and get some squirting going. Yeah, somebody was saying baking soda works really good too. Let's go just try this. Run that around first. Plus it'll smell. It's gonna smell like making Easter eggs. Flip that seat up. That's where a lot of it is, right there. Maybe that'll be our test area. We'll just wet that down. We'll let it sit. Let's see what happens. I think the soap helps it kind of stay a little bit longer. At some point we'll pull it all apart. We'll pull the seats right out of it, get the carpet out of it, and those I could probably wash with the pressure washer on the ground. But Gotta do the inside of the top too, but I'll put that down at some point. Leather still feels pretty soft. The bolsters look like they're coming apart a little bit on this side. But as far as the material itself, I'm not sure if it's leather or if it's just like vinyl. Not sure how fancy they got. I'll just go for it. Will it hurt wood? Hope not. I think you get the idea, right? Well, for the most part, we got the car smelling better. It's been drying out. I forgot to do the trunk and the trunk mat. Still some mold on it. The rest of it's smelling much better in the garage. But it's getting annoying to move around. So let's go see if we could fix them. With a set of these. Real tires, Eddie? That works. Not going to go finish it up because all this has to come apart again. We still have brakes and everything to do. But at least it'll roll. Just got 3 more to do. They're supposed to be the same size that was on there, or close to it. Just make sure we don't rub. Yeah, we're fine. Good. Well, that rim's not too good. Just shows up. Because when you spin it up, yeah, just got a bit of a bend to it. I'm gonna go check the spare rim, see if that's any better, and if it is, I'll swap the tire onto the spare rim, and I can go in there. Hopefully, it's not the same thing. So before I decided to unmount the spare, I figured we'll look at it. That's worse. I haven't tried it yet to see what we get. But see what we get. Apparently this thing took a jump over some railroad tracks. Let's see what it comes out at. Yeah, we need a pound on each side of the rim to try to get it to equal out. Alright, so we're going to go leave that one as a spare. No bother taking that apart. And I'll balance that one out as best as possible. We'll put it on the driver's rear. The more crappy a wheel is, less it shows up when it's on the back than the front. The front it'll show up in the shaking of your steering wheel. So I'll balance that one out, and we'll kind of put it on the shop list to keep an eye out for at least one rim. And that one, we could make that one a spare. We could junk this one. We'll get you home though, I guess. It'll wear on that tire. A little dark, but I got a 3 1/4 and a 275. Let's go see what it does. This is the original bent wheel with the new tire. Let's get the calm down some. Getting there. I may tweak it a little bit. I don't think it's kind of one of those things that we're going to keep on chasing it. I'll try a little bit more. Let's go see where that 1 ounce is lining up. See if it's on the outer side. So we need a little bit more weight to the weight that I added. That sounds correct. I'm going to go put that one on. I'll spin it up again, and then I'll see what the other side says. I just put the 1 ounce on the outer. Sometimes when they're bent, it's just never... And not saying that even though we get all that weight correct, that it's not going to be still shaking going down the road. And when you get it zeroed in, with the scales kind of bouncing back and forth, you can kind of see it tweaking. What I'm doing is on the machine itself, there's a line coming right off. This line straight up is where the weight goes. So we need a 1/2 ounce, a little baby one. That's probably one. Let's go throw that one on there. Yeah, it says 1/2. Shall we? Feels pretty good. You can feel the cover shakes a little bit. All right. At least we didn't put 2 pounds of weight on it. Only 1. Well, now that she's kind of roll friendly, let's get it back up in the lift and start looking into the oil pressure problem that the top end of the engine was having. I want to kind of start zeroing in on more of the components. And from there, maybe we can get into getting the clutch set up and functioning and see what we have for transmission and rear and all that kind of thing. All right. Roll on. Don't fall off. I'm close almost on the other side. The tire's hanging on probably about an inch. Yep. Go tweak her around a little bit. Let her breathe a little better. She's all dried up. Get some fuel hooked back up to it. Let's get that valve cover back off of it. See how it does on cold start. Get our intake leak. This one should. Where's that one go? Let's give it some power. Let's see what it does. Again, problem that when we left off, we're kind of running. It got it to run, but we weren't getting anything on the top end of the rockers happening. And it looks like the rocker shaft is kind of like askew. It's a big air gap up on the front here. Let's go get her start first. Try to. Going on. Let's just try it. No choke, no nothing. Here's your choke. Let's see if we can push that rocker shaft that way. See the gap I'm talking about? Nah. I do believe that's the issue though. It probably comes up through one of the pedestals. Is the oil feed, and it goes down the center of the rocker shaft and oils each one of them. As you can see, like after it will run for quite a long time, you'll start to see just a little bit over here, like that one, just kind of starting. But I think it's not lined up. I figure that's probably supposed to be lined up right there. That hole. Probably been that way for a long time too. I was hoping while it was rocking I'd be able to work it, but I might have too much crud on it. Let's kill the choke. All right, let's go shut it off. All right, I want to look into that. So my guess is we'll probably just maybe unbolt it and see if we can get it to kick back. I get it. It may be. It's probably been this way for a long time, so it may have crud kind of built up around where all the pivots are. Because the shaft, these are all wiggling on the shaft, but all these are fixed points. So I have a feeling they may be just gummed up. And we'll go and adjust the valves afterwards. So I think I'm kind of wondering, should we just back the adjusters off first or no? Let me just unbolt that whole shaft. We'll get it right out of there and we'll kind of see what we got. Maybe we'll kind of clean it up a little bit too. take this over to the bench. It wants to spring apart. Alright. Let's go bring this over to the bench. See what we got. Oh, I think something's got to be frozen where that shaft didn't move in it. I think we got to put a set screw in there. It looks like. So that one's got a feed. Yeah, so that one's got a feed. So oil's coming up through that, and then probably has to line up to a hole inside here, which feeds the shaft. Let's go, again, let's go drop this off over on the bench. It wants to explode on me. What if we get like this side should hold. Yeah, that one's frozen. That one's frozen. That one's good. That one's a little drag. So this is the one right here. Why it wouldn't slide. It's bound up. Okay. Let's go take it apart and keep an eye on the like whatever springs and stuff are in between. It's like I don't know if that's a thrust. Yeah, so oil has to go up through there. And go through that hole right there. And on the other side of it's got set screw. Let's leave the rocker off and look at that. No, actually the hole. The oil hole's dead center. Ah, no, it is. It's lined up with it. Alright, so we need to find a screw that's going to hold in there, right? Yeah, not a very big passage. Just go see if we can find a screw that'll go in that. Let's go see what isn't bound up. Should be able to not take these off. Trying to hold on to a grease pig. Hey, I was young, it was late. Yeah, that one wants to, there it goes. I thought it was right here that we were bound up, wasn't it? That one moves. Wouldn't hurt to soak the whole thing in kerosene or something, right? It's moving. It's moving. Maybe that big of a fight. All right, let's go see. I don't want all this to come apart. We probably should, though, huh? Forget how it was. Let's go make sure this, yeah, it's got a spring. Maybe we'll lay them out in front of us. Let's go. Like that. Was that the first one? Was that on that side? I already don't remember. All right, before we get ahead of ourselves, let's go see if we can find a set screw that'll thread in there. And it looks like it's, what are they called? Machine screw. I got a bunch of Allens. Let's go check the drawer. My stash. So I'm thinking, I don't know what thread it is, but like maybe something like that would be it. Let's go try to go grab one of them. One of them. Hardware store down the road too. I don't mind going to lunch. Let's go try a coarse thread one. Where is it? Where's the hole? There it is. Let's go see if that looks correct, right? Let's go see. Again, if it's fine thread. Get in there. I think that's it. It does feel a little funky. That's why it fell apart in the first place, right? And it feels like the first couple of threads are gone, or I got the just too small on the screw size. That ain't it. Yeah, you can push that one in. So my guess is the threads got chewed up out of it. I'm gonna look better. See if I can clamp that with something. Keep all the assembly out of our way. We'll clean that up and get a better look at it. Wonder what else we can do. I guess we could tap it for something, right? I'm gonna go get some kind of like vice grips with like plastic on the jaws or something. Keep all that out of our way. And what do we got? That's got threads in it or not. I'm gonna go clean that up. I'm gonna see if we actually have threads in there. And if so, I may just be like one size off on the hardware. And I'll bring this whole thing to the hardware store with me. And we'll try to find a screw that fits. That's probably a good view right there. Huh? All right, I'm gonna look under the scope and see what I can find. It definitely say it has a few miles on it, running like it was with no oil. But it looks like actually the port that the oil comes into, there, has some clogging going on too. Now it's open. Some crap coming out of it. Doesn't take much, I guess, right? Yeah, you definitely see the scoring set up on it. I guess we'll keep an eye out for one of that assembly. I don't think the hole, I've been trying different things that get it to fit in there. It does look like the threads are there. And the hole on the bottom is like offset. So you run a screw in, it doesn't plug up the bottom hole because it's racked. So, say the top hole is at 12 o'clock, the other one's at like 4 or 5 o'clock. It's not index drilled right across from it. So we can probably go with a little bit longer screw. But I'm just not happy. Everything I try to feed in there is just, I don't know, it's off a little. All else fails, hit the internet. And it is rocker shaft locating screw, number 12 by 28 UNF screw. So we need one of those. And if it's not, we're going to make it something a little bit larger. We'll fix it. We'll weld it if we have to. I took it in the parts washer and cleaned it up. You could definitely see, you pull them aside after all the moisture is gone, you can see the scoring that has been done on it. So I would definitely say keeping an eye out for a new assembly would not be a bad thing. But definitely probably at about 10,000 miles like that. Yeah, right there. You see how much it's wore. How much play that rocker's going to have. Stanchion. Actually, that should be a rocker, not a stanchion. So that. It's got side-to-side playing in it, which it shouldn't be. Let's go see. We're going to put it all back together. I could not find screws that were 12/28. Seems like a very odd size. But what I do have is 12/24. It's the only thing I can find in 12. We can change oil in it. We might even find the original one down in the oil pan. But for now, there's only like 4 threads in there. That should be enough to at least lock it in location. And like I said, I'm going to try to keep an eye out for another assembly at some point. But that does not stop us from moving forward. It'll just help us now. We should have some oil feed to the top of that. Let's go throw that back on. And I don't know if they adjust the valves hot or cold. I'm not sure yet. Wiggle you back in there. Might be a good idea to run like kerosene or something through it too, we are 180 out. Is that right? No. You had it right to begin with. Huh? All right, let's go get this on there. Come on. Gotta get everybody to play well at the same time. Get all the push rods in there right home. There's gonna be a couple that are trying to push valves down. That's okay. Yeah, some valves get adjusted hot, some get adjusted cold. And I would think that we should be fairly close because nothing we didn't change other than maybe the last two rockers, which I put on wrong. They're in the wrong spot. I had a 50-50 shot. I don't know if it shows up. They're indexed incorrectly. I got to take it back apart. Just when you thought you were right there. Yeah, the two rockers on the end are backwards. Gotta swap those two. That's a little better. Let's try that again. Let's snug them down. I don't know if we should just spin it over for a second just to kind of have them seat a little bit. They all should be roughly back in the same place. You know, the adjustment's not going to be perfect, but let's go give her a little bit of a, might even start. That's all right. We clear? Yeah, who wants to run? You hear one's got no compression. You got to plug that intake leak. Actually, shut up. Maybe go look it up, see if the spec is hot or cold. I don't want to heat it up. Good enough. At least it settled them all. I just wanted the rockers to kind of, find their home. I looked it up. It is 10 thou cold. So I'm just going to, pretty much use it with any engine. I'm going to take the rotor, whatever cylinder the rotor is pointing at, I'm going to adjust that one. So right now it's pointing at number 5 spark plug wire. So this is the one I need to adjust. And we want 10 thou. Way too loose. Way too loose. Which I would expect. This thing's been clanking around for a long time. How much play is in there? Yeah, we're going to have to get a 6-point socket on that. All these are kind of rounded over a little bit too. Yeah, we'll probably just crack them all loose with this. You think the chances are that the nut and screw are frozen? Nope, good. And we're just going to go till we get loose. It sounded it though. When we were running it, it definitely sounded like a Singer sewing machine, didn't it? Right there. I think you get the idea. We are going to do that to every cylinder. I suspect one of them is probably going to be tight, maybe this end one. because you could hear it when I was cranking over. It had no compression in one cylinder. And we know it sounded pretty good before. So. Just gotta do that 5 more times. Let's check. That's a little loose. Yeah, I'm gonna tweak this one just a little bit more. Yeah, number 3, no play in it at all. That was the one that we were hearing do nothing. We'd think it wouldn't be that far off. You're putting everything right back on the same stanchion where it was, you know? Not like the rockers got moved around. All right, let's go. Turn on. Feels pretty good. Let's get that one. Definitely gonna have to hit them with the 6-point socket afterwards, though. Yeah, moving in them now. We can't get a good bite on it though, so we gotta. That problem is sometimes that'll turn the adjuster, so I'm just gonna come back and check one more time. Yeah, that one got too tight. That's the game. Well, that's all of them. Let's get the cap back on it. Should be able to fire it up, and hopefully we see oil a lot more present than we did first time around. Yeah, they're all over the place as far as adjustments. Some tight, some loose. Down there. All right. Shall we? Big no choke. Let's get the blanket out of the way. Sucked in the pan. That's good. Look wider too, huh? I would still definitely like to see a lot more oil than what we're seeing on it right now. I'm gonna open the door and let it run for a minute. As far as I understand, it does take, they're not like your American V8 where it really comes pumping out of it. Could drizzle some on it too, maybe to help it for now. And did we run out of gas? We are out of fuel. And do it. Yeah, definitely not seeing as I would like to start to see. You know, the little holes kind of here having a little bit of fuel, oil kind of pissing out. I'm still not seeing that though. Yeah, a little bit of something here. I wonder if we have a problem where oil is not coming up through that cavity. Just in general, you know what I mean? It's not even getting to that position. Might have been a good idea to try to poke through that when we had it apart. Now, I do want to change oil. We got an oil filter thing to go kind of set up. Let me go get some gas back in it. I'm going to go run it a little bit more. Maybe we'll drizzle some oil on top of it just for love. Give it some love. That was just me marking the cylinders when I adjusted the valve, put a piece of tape on, showing each one what I did. We'll be idling a lot higher. Kind of binding a little. I can let that run for a while. See how we look. I can probably set the valve cover on it. We'll let it run for about 10 or 15 minutes. We'll pop it back off, see if we get any kind of oil that's starting to puddle up. Figure if we let it run long enough too, we can change the oil out of it. I'd rather have it when it's hot. It'll kind of rush out easier. I have a adapter for the oil filter to go from, they have like a cartridge that you would change inside a can to like a regular spin-on oil filter. You could probably set that up too. But again, I'm gonna let it run for 10 minutes or so. Well, I figure if we're gonna run it, why don't we try to run some of the gas out of it and see what we can purge. Use it for its own good. It was gurgling out before. Nothing saying it's still working, but yeah. We had it before, we were running, a little bit of black mud came out of it. We're not pinched in anywhere, are we? Yep, there it goes. Starting. We'll use that for our barometer of runtime. That's like prostate issues. It'll go for a little bit and it cuts out. Goes a little bit, cuts out. There it goes. So pump a little bit. And then not so much. Rev it up, it gets worse. But I'd definitely say it's probably got wherever the fuel filter is, it's pretty clogged. Fuel pump's probably on its way out too, you figure. I was kind of hoping it would wash whatever crap is in the pump out of it. Yeah, you get like that, and then nothing. The gauges seem like they're holding their own. Temp seems like it's okay. Oil pressures, I don't know, what's that, 25 at an idle? And it's warm, so the oil's thinner. That's how much I guess is in the gas tank, and charging system is doing what it's supposed to be doing. A little bit of a arrhythmia going to it. I think it's been long enough. Let's go pop that valve cover off, and we'll go see what's happening for oil. Now that everything's nice and thinned out. What do you think? Think it did anything? Should we wipe it down with a rag and see if they continue to wetten themselves up? Yeah, I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna wipe them down real quick. That light's getting you. There you go. Our intake leak. Run. Not that. I know they're pretty scored up. Maybe we're not getting a great seal, but I can see it on that one right there. You can actually see the oil bubbling out of it. Don't see much. Maybe that one a little bit. Definitely down below is doing pretty good. A little bit of water in it, probably from pressure washing it. Alright, let's get it in here. Let's go drain the oil out of it, see what it looks like. Put some fresh stuff in it. Kind of a funky drain plug, huh? Think that's how it is, or somebody modify that? Funny because the transmission has a regular plug on it, you know? Let's see what we get. They have another container. Just in case. I would figure this thing will hold more than what, 4 quarts? Just in case. We have another one ready to rock and roll. Plus, as long as you don't fill them all the way up, it makes it easier to drain. Watch your eyeball. Back up. So that thing right there is the oil filter housing. It's got like a cartridge inside it. Yeah. And a bolt going through the center of it. Well, there's a replacement for that. I'll show you. And that's this thing. bolts up to where that goes. Have a couple of O-rings. So that mounts where that is, and then you put a regular oil filter on the side of that. May want to clean some of that rust off, huh? Well, I'm willing to bet the oil filters don't get changed much in these, because doesn't fit out through that, and I mean, you could probably try to wiggle it out through the top there. That fuel filter line and everything's in your way. There's not enough room. It may not be where that fuel filter line is supposed to run, and maybe there's a bit more of an opening. But we have to change that slave cylinder for the clutch anyway. So I'm going to unbolt that, get that out of the way. That should allow the filter to drop down. Probably should have done that first. And then we can get that other bracket up in there. I'm not sure which way the new filter faces. I guess I'll figure that out. All right, let me get that clutch down. I'm going to have to do it anyway, so. Looks like it was new. It was new and then it sat because it still got a tag hanging off of it. Let's see if that made enough room for us. Okay. Yeah. Barely, huh? Are you supposed to unbolt that every time you take the oil filter out? And there's the cartridge I was talking about. You change out. And I even bought one of those new too. Then I discovered the adapter. It's dark up in there. Let's see if we can get. There should be an O-ring here. And there's one in the center. I don't know how we're going to hold that center one there though. She's laughing at me. Bird's laughing at me. I know you're in there. There it goes. Yeah, had it. That's one of them. And then so the bracket has a center one that goes here. Let's see, groove that fits in, and in the center part of that housing is spring loaded to come up against this. So I'm going to go do my best. I'm going to try to keep you guys. I'm not filming much of this because I'm trying to keep oil out of your eyeballs, because you have just got cataract surgery with new eyes. Actually, my new camera that you're looking through. And I want to try to keep it that way for a little bit. So I try to keep this stuff to a minimum underneath where you get splashed up on. Yeah, so the outer one, pretty self-explanatory. It fits into that channel, but we have this one. Yeah, but it's not going to stay. It does have like a little bit of a groove. Let's try some. I want some like heavy grease. Bring that around and kind of use it like maybe like a paste to hold it. Again, when you're never really going to take this apart again, so I guess once we get it, right? Let's go flip it over, see if it'll stay. Yeah. Let's try that. I'm going to wiggle that thing up in there. I still don't know what way it orients. I guess it'll tell us once we get it up there, we can kind of like spin it to where, you know, it might be just straight down. So we just kind of spin it until we get close, and we're going to run the nut in. Well, if we go straight down, it's going to hit the wheel, the clutch slave cylinder. Is that it? Get a bolt stop turning. Let's get a wrench on that. Should probably pop the filter on it, huh? We'll just kind of. I don't think it can go straight up either. Maybe we'll kind of angle it back. Yeah, let's get the filter on it. We'll leave it somewhat. Maybe run it in some. We got another. Okay, still turned. Go throw that oil filter on it. Yeah, fuel line sink. I think that fuel line is definitely going to come into play of getting rerouted somewhere. Yeah. That's probably what it is, and then that wasn't there when the regular oil filter would be. So call it, look at that. You'll probably run the line maybe down further and up. Might as well disconnect that now too, huh? I could bring this. I don't know, probably right there looks fairly decent. I should have enough room. There's a frame rail here because it's got to back off what, about ½ inch to be able to drop out of there. And the slave cylinder will be right here. And we tighten it up there for now. So I popped the fuel line off. You can definitely not get much flow out of the tank. That definitely is should be doing more than that. So there's a screen like inside the tank that is somewhat clogged. That's why the fuel pump wasn't drawing up what it could. And I do see we have a splice right here for the fuel line. I don't know if somebody added that piece or not. There's like a factory clip right there. But I wonder if we can make a bend running up. See a little rubber grommet up there? I wonder if the fuel line's supposed to run through that grommet. That or this cable is. One of the two. Because it can't go where the fuel filter is. I'm gonna go let it down, leave the bucket underneath it, and we'll take a peek. We got to get the other part of the clutch off of it, the master, and we could probably take the top piece of that fuel line off, see if we see a better way to route that. I think I eyeball it from up top. So it looks like here's the fuel pump, the inlet, and the fuel filter. I want to say if we loosen this fitting up, we should be able to take this line and shoot it straight down instead of going alongside the oil filter like it is now. I wonder if that's kind of actually even moving without loosening it. Yeah, my bet is that's supposed to be more like that going down to it, and then we probably straighten up the line and get a filter right in here. So I'm going to remove this out of our way. And we're going to do something else when we're up here, won't we? Oh, the master cylinder. We got to get rid of this. Change that out too. And where's it? We got a hard line going to a flex line. And the cylinders right together. Cylinders down there. So just a hard line in between it. And hopefully that is just a bolt, not a nut and bolt on the floor on the inside that we got to deal with. All right, let me go see if we can get that line out of there and get those. Bolt. Okay, we opened this up. We first looked at it and it was, yeah, we weren't saving that. It's the dry fluid. Got the top one loose as far as I can. I can't get the bolt out because it's running into the line. At least, like I said, it's not a nut and bolt. So I don't know if the rod is connected or not. We're going to find out right now. The rod to the pedal. Get that bolt out before it falls. I think it's connected to the pedal. Maybe? Or is it the line that's holding us? Nope. The pedal's connected to it. I got to go underneath and pull a clip on it. We get that. Probably get the whole assembly out in one piece, maybe. At least now I can kind of get to the line. I wasn't able to get to it where it was. Thought I was kidding when I said that wouldn't come out of there, huh? I didn't design it. Don't think we can get it all the way out though, because the line is captured by the, maybe? And the slave cylinder is still flopping around down there in the bottom. Just unbolt this. Get that out of our way. I'll be able to pull it right through. And we can grab a wrench on that. We'll pull that whole assembly right out of there. Oh, it was brand new. Was brand new 20 years ago. Yeah, so all three pieces was like 60 bucks. It was the master cylinder, that red flex line, okay, and the reset, and the slave cylinder. Yeah, there it goes. It's going with the line though. See if we could spin it. And line. It's already kinked right there. Try to unkink it. And sometimes you could spin the whole line. Once you get it out and clean it up with a wire wheel. Yeah, we're not gonna have the clearance, so holds that in. A little clip. Let's see if we can. Of course, I ordered it with there it goes. All the pieces, and the one piece I need. So we're gonna have to bend that out. Clearance. We could spin it, like I said. Should be able to take it on a wire wheel. Maybe we could free up the end of that. Right now, it's holding on by a prayer. You can heat it too, you know. Make a new one if you have to. Get out of the way. It's like playing Jenga. One piece goes in before the next piece goes in. Yeah, so we got to be able to see if we can get that to free up on there. So I'm going to go hit it on a wire wheel. And then maybe we'll support this in the vise. I'll clean this up on a wire wheel, and we'll see if we can get this to spin or not. Might have to end up creating a new setup. See if we can get rid of the hangers on. It's full of fluid anyway. I kind of thought if we cleaned that master cylinder up, would have survived. But you know, if I didn't order one, it wouldn't have. Right, now we need to get that's supported. I think we should probably just go right to heat, maybe. What size is that, 1/2 inch? Yeah. I don't think there's much pressure on this. Probably maybe 100 pounds. It's not like brakes, you know, because the clutch moves out of the way. It's not like it's up against the wall, the solid wall. Yeah, let's go throw a little bit of heat on it. Kind of sneak up on it at first. Yep, there it goes. Good. Saved by the skin of its teeth. Now we can get some lube behind it. And be very gingerly where that kink is in it, so we don't screw it up anymore. There's oil right here. So we get to walk down a little. Give us a little airspace behind it. There it goes. Don't want to be getting oil on the inside of it. That's where the brake fluid goes. That's why they, like, say with the brakes, where brakes, clutch, whatever it is, that you kind of want to purge them every once in a while. It's a fuel contaminates, and it's pretty corrosive. That'll work for us. So we can bolt the master cylinder up first because we have to, because that bolt only fits in without this line in the way. And reassemble from there. So one tool I probably use every single day when working on anything is a wire wheel. Like, see all the crap that's on those threads, just to go clean them up so you can put stuff together without having to put a wrench on it and getting half a turn at a time. You get the crap out of the threads, you can spin them out with your fingers. You know what you guys forgot? Yes, you. You forgot to remind me when we had the oil pan plug off to go probing for that screw. My guess is it'd probably be sitting right there. Let me go grab the pan again. So let's go shopping. My guess would probably be like right here maybe, or all the way to, it could be all the way to the back. You figure, you know, acceleration. I don't know if the big magnet's gonna fit. Let's go try it. Nothing. A big magnet may not make it. I don't think it's gonna. I think the magnet will fit, but I think the hardware's not gonna make it. Right? I call it. You could probably grind that screw off a little bit on the knuckle. Let me do that. I'm going to grind that off right there, make it a little thinner. See if I can work it up in there and do a recovery. I think the oil sump is right in front of us. Nothing to get around it. That's just the grinder slowing down. What do you think? I'm gonna say no. No. Alright, I'm gonna poke around a little bit. If I don't find it, so be it. Thought we'd kind of give that a shot though before we fill it back up with oil. Could be baffles in that oil pan too, and it's sitting up in a baffle or something. So while I was poking around, I was kind of looking at some stuff, and one of the things is the exhaust system. It's got this really nice header on it. 6 individual pipes going down to a collector. And we go from 6 to one large pipe. We cut one of them off, weld it shut. We weld this thing onto there, shrink it down even further. It opens up a little bit. Then we go to a coupler, then to another piece of pipe, or single pipe, back to here. Then we go back to dual pipes again, continue back on, keep going, into the mufflers, and then to 4 tailpipes, 2 on each side. I don't know about the efficiency of that. Hey, it looks like here too, like you have room for 2 pipes, right? So it's probably 2, ran to here, ran to these 2 all the way back. I'm not quite sure what happened with this. Looks like they used whatever they had left over to get an exhaust system functioning. Yeah, it looks like A heater core plug for an engine? What is that? Big, maybe a shock washer welded up? Yeah. No resistance in that, huh? Well, let's see if I can make a mess. Let's see if we can get a clutch to function. I'm gonna make it. We won't talk about that little bit that spilled. And I don't know, possibly we could open the bleeder on the bottom and it may just kind of gravity feed out. Let's try that first. Actually, I just started tapping on the pedal. It seems like it's kind of bleeding itself as far as, you know, air bubbles coming up. I don't know if I have that bleeder tight. I think I do. Guess I should look underneath, see if fluid's pissing out everywhere, huh? Nah, I don't see anything dripping. Look at the rest of the lines. We look good. Now I'm going to spill it. Told you. So I'm going to work at that for a little bit. Because I got to put the lift up and down each time to work on alone, you know. One of you would sit up here and work this for me. I don't know why it looks like soap suds. I think we're leaking right there. Line's pretty tight too. I don't know how much I can get in there to. Kind of a sucky place to get to, you know. I'm gonna top it off. I can try cracking that bottom bleeder, see what we get. We have a problem right here anyway, though. It actually looks like that fitting is almost all the way down in the threads. Whoops. That's good for the paint. Let's see what we get. Sometimes it'll work. There it goes. Yeah. All right. I still think we have a problem with that leak up there, but see if that helped our situation. It should have allowed all the air to come bleed out and then fill up the slave cylinder. Should. Let's hit the pedal a couple times and see what we get. I have a clutch. But yeah, we're leaking right out of the fitting there, huh? That sucks. Let me go see if I can get a line wrench on that, get a couple of cranks on it. The clutch is working though. I can feel it pushing. Yeah, we got resistance on it, but that's never gonna fly. Yeah, I think we may have to, maybe we could heat this wrench up and bend it to make it like, because we just can't get a turn on it, you know? There's nothing, no way to, plus I think we need to change my light. Yeah, let me heat this wrench up, put a curve on it. Because we only had that little window to work with. Nothing on the other side neither, right? Suggestions? Wouldn't be the first time I had to make my own tools. This one already has been. I guesstimate about that far. We'll try it like that first. I think no matter what though, it's not going to have enough room to kind of grab it, turn. I think we'll get like one turn out of it, and that might be it. But it also might be enough to get that line tight. So yeah, looking at it now, I wonder if we should just kind of bend upward. Yeah. Might be on it. It's going the wrong way though. That would loosen it. Yeah, that's the problem. We're just going to be right. Let me heat it up so that it goes like this. I don't know if we can. We couldn't get any more of the regular half, right? I think just on such an angle that we can't. Yeah. Oh, more bad. But more out of it. Come on. All right, let's go give that pedal a hit real quick. You could also have like a little crack in that line or something too that's not. Yeah, I still see kind of a little bit right there. Yeah. I'd say it's better. I'm going to try to work on that a little bit. I see what that runs. I'm going to try to bend it like upward, and then maybe I could probably put like a adjustable on it and get a little bit more of a turn out of it. Worst case, maybe we can even just take it back off again. Maybe we can clean the end of it. She's definitely starting to turn into one custom wrench. So I can get a little more out of it. I don't know if I'm hitting the body there or not. Now it's stuck. Yeah, I'm going to clean it up really good. Sometimes you can loosen the line up and just kind of move it a little and tighten it back down again. We'll do it. Nothing. It's under pressure right now. A little bit of air still coming out of it, but I think we're all right. It's definitely pushing the clutch. I like the self-bleeding setup though. You just hit the pedal and the bubbles come to the top. Alright, I'm gonna go top that off, throw the cap on it for now, and we'll get it into something else. Now, I see we topped her off with some good old Rotilla 1540. Essentially it's diesel oil. But diesel oil is supposed to have zinc in it, which helps on the older engines. Whether it still has it in it anymore, I really don't know, but that's what we're going to run. I have a feeling at some point we're going to be revisiting that rocker shaft assembly at some point, and then changing oil and all, but for now, this is what I got. We're going to run. I think it says 5.4 quarts is what it holds. I didn't expect that. So we'll give her like 3. We'll spin it up. 3.5, and then check it because you get that new oil filter assembly. I don't know if that adds or takes away from its capacity. So this is how many? What's in this jug? 2.5 gallons, something like that. 2.5 gallons. So I think we're about a gallon so far. Just shy, or a little more. We'll call it that. Let's go fire it up. Let it run for a minute. I'll check it. I don't think there's any risk of leaving the cap off. It doesn't exactly splash oil out of this thing. Let's do any rid of the rags though, just in case they go flying. New trowel. Whoops. The fuel pump is pissing a little bit. It's not hooked up to anything on the other end. Let me go throw vice grips on it. As you are. Ooh. Watching your oil pressure gauge. There it goes. Alright. It's at 50 PSI. Let's go see what we got. We don't even show on the stick. I'll deal with that. I'll go top it off. I think we're to the point we can let it run again, and we could probably peek down in that that oil cap to see if we're getting any kind of better oil flow. I don't know if it made any kind of difference. All right. Let it warm up a little bit. Definitely much quieter than it was when we first started with it, though, right? It was much more ratty-tatty. And again, my guess is that those rockers got loose because the shaft that they were on wore so much that the rocker actually kind of probably lifted up a little bit. Plus, the rocker itself may have a little bit of scoring on it. I don't know if we got probably a thicker oil too. When the oil warms up, it thins out, so the pressure can drop down at an idle. But what were we, like 50? Yeah, 50. Charging, temp's cold. I'll let this thing a little bit. Get some heat in it. Well, while it's warming up, what do you say we push the clutch in? We kind of, the clutch is nothing. We lost it. I don't know if it's still got air in it or, oh, you know why? I was hitting a brake. They're close together. All right, we got clutch. All right. Feels like yeah, we'll get the tires off the ground. It might be frozen. The clutch might be stuck to the pressure plate in the flywheel from sitting for so long. But it's definitely moving it. It's moving the yeah, we don't have any brakes, so it's not like I can shut it off before we smash into the silica. Although that would be good for video. It'd be good for my mood. Alright, we got heat in this thing yet? Yeah, just starting. Let's go. Pop that cap off on it. And look down, see if you can see any kind of flow going happening. Actually looks pretty good. Well, I shouldn't say that because we just poured oil in it, so.
That little hole on top of that rocker looks like oil's coming out of it.
Hell, it is what it is, right? We also got that water pump that's, if you haven't done anything with, it's got no bolt on the front of it. Keep that in mind. It should probably try to get, there's some threads left on the first video. It was binding on us. We tried to turn it with a air ratchet, snap the end off. I believe it's a tapered shaft, but there's still like a couple of threads left on that. You know, to try getting a washer and a nut on that, just kind of keep that together for now. I don't know if it's actually going to do anything other than make me maybe feel a little bit better. At least there's something on there, right? I don't know if we're going to get it tight or it's just going to pop off. Should we not push our luck? Let's push it a little bit further. Alright, we'll call that for the win. I don't think it'll fall off. It's a taper fit anyway, but at least there's something there. Let's get the back tires off the ground and see if we'll put it in gear and see if we can get that clutch to free up. Oh, much to kind of grab by here. Bottom of the shocks, I guess. The lift won't go in skinny enough to. There we go. A little more. All right, let's go drop it back down, fire it up, get the chocks out of the way. We don't launch the car, and we'll be able to spin it in gear and see if we can get them to free up. I'm not sure which back tire is going to spin. We probably have to. We'll try starting it and putting it in gear, see what we get. Yeah. Get some gear. I love the try the emergency brake. The clutch. Emergency brake with the clutch in. Yeah. Install it. I got the clutch in. Try a taller gear. Good. The other thing too is possibly it's just not pushing the clutch far enough. I think I'm in third. I can hear noise up there. Got it right now. Speedometer's at 0. Clutch is in. I'm in third gear. Let off. Yeah. It's freeing up. It's getting there. See if I can shift in and out. Yeah. Right now it's like slipping the clutch. Let it out. Yeah. So it is working, kinda. I don't think there's any adjustment on it. The rod down below on the clutch was just a push rod. There was no It does seem like it has quite a bit of free play. All right, first gear, the clutch is in. Hit the emergency brake. Yeah, but it's got drag. Instead of burn the rust off. I don't smell it. It's kind of working. I think we need to see if we can get, maybe bleed it a little bit more. Might put a power bleeder down on the bottom, draw some. Because there is like the first bit of the brake pedal, like that much of it is free play of the movement before it's kind of doing anything. And possibly we just don't have enough pressure on the pressure plate. This is the one that was on it. I wouldn't think there's any kind of like something that you dial out or... I do, you know what there was? The rod that went in. The rod on the, that goes into here. I think it had 3 different positions. Actually, it might have been on the pedal. Somewhere on it, there was, you could choose 3 different positions of where the rod attached to the lever, and one's going to give it more stroke than the other. Let's give a quick look. I don't know if it was on the pedal underneath or down here. There's nothing to adjust in that. So on this one, there's only one adjustment. There's only one pin location on it, so it must have been down below. So let's go see if we could tweak that a little bit and see if we can get a little bit more throw out of it. Yeah, it's down here. You can see the 3 different holes. And I put it where it was, which was in the middle. Let's go see if we can get that key out of it. There we go. It just seems like, you know, we can get a little more push. Did that just push fluid out? Might have been just dirt falling. Yeah. So let's go try it on that one. And the closer you are to the pivot, the more travel you're going to give it. The further away from the pivot point, the easier the clutch pedal would be to push. You know what I mean? So as far as like you're pushing it here, you don't have as you know what I'm talking about. Why are we having this conversation? All right, let me go button it up and we'll go try it again. See if we have any anything not doing what it's supposed to be doing. You would think that you would be able to adjust this rod a little bit. That would get rid of some of that play. Yeah, let's go try it again. The speedometer kind of tells the story. Plus, like, you're not able to get it into gear. Let's go fire it up again. See if it goes into gear. Yeah, see, it's still fighting me. And you see the speedometer start rolling. I got something. Then you can, yeah, then you can put it in third. And the wheels are going. Clutch is in. I'll pull the emergency brake. And then I'll start lifting up on the clutch. It's, and if an inch off the floor, you hear the, so we got to get more out of it. Again, there could be some more air in it, possibly. Yeah, I'm gonna let it out. Did we get power shift into like, there you go. That should be 4th gear. A little noisy, huh? Actually, you know what it could be? It could be the brake shoes on the back of the drums. Is that use the emergency brake? Go take a peek. We'll put it up here, we'll grab a light. Cool. Anything dripping. I don't know what else we can kind of do to get a little bit more out of that clutch. We need, like, at some point I got a second person here to bump up the clutch, hold it down, and I crack the bleeder from down below. I could probably put a block of wood underneath it and do it too. quiet back here.
A little noisy right there, though.
Oh well. I'll let it back down. And it's cruising doing 30. Yeah, could be a mouse nest, right? No, you haven't seen that before. But yeah, definitely try to get out of here. There we go. Well, I would like to have gotten further along than what I did. But just the nature of things, right? You just don't know what you're dealing with until you're dealing with it. We're kind of got stuff functioning. We're getting closer. I don't know if our oil thing is fixed or not. I don't know if our clutch is fixed or not. Got new tires though. Got that, and it doesn't smell like mold anymore. It actually smells like vinegar. Probably the best way to to say it. But yeah, it seems like everything is slowly getting picked away. We have brakes to go deal with yet. We got the fuel system to go deal with, and like I said, I'm hoping that clutch will be resolved by bleeding it. The only other thing I could think of too is if, like, we were to shim the slave cylinder a little bit closer to it and get a little bit more push out of it. I think it's all it really needs. And then we, again, gear oil, rear end oil, might have to take the gas tank out, put it on the tumbler, flush that out. But we're getting closer. I got all the paperwork in order. I probably am going to go tomorrow and register it, so we'll have plates for it. So once we do get it kind of like up and running, we can take it out and play a little bit. But again, guys, for this one, that made sense, right? For this one, I think we're going to go kind of cut it. I think we've gotten somewhere. I'm not quite sure what's happening with it. You guys have any idea on the oil setup? Feel free to speak up. I'm kind of thinking maybe the feed that goes up to that section possibly is clogged, or they're just kind of pathetic and they really don't push all that much out of it. I just don't have any, history on. Generally, you see an engine running, it's flowing fairly decent back, back down on the side of it, and I'm not quite seeing that. So possibly if I get another rocker assembly, maybe we do take the plugs out of it and take the rocker shaft right off, and we can kind of crank it with the starter, and we'll see where that hole comes up, if oil is purging up out of that hole or not. And if not, maybe we can do a little rotor rooter on it. All right, guys, so with that, I want to thank you all for hanging out, doing some wrenching. And again, I always feel like I want to get further than what I can, but I am out of time. So until next week, we'll have some more fun with it. We'll deal with its fuel system, and we'll see what we got going on for the brakes. I have a feeling everything was put on, it was new, so possibly we can save what is there. I think possibly the clutch setup too, if we cleaned it out good enough, we may have been able to use that stuff over. And we may end up using it over again. All right, guys, that's it. I'm tapping out. I'll see you later.